Shabbos, folks. Shabbos, dear friends here. Luke and Chazan Schechter. Rich Stein and our special guest, Rabbi Zach Fredman. We see you, Carmi and Shelley and Rumi and all of you folks, wherever you are, as we enter Shabbat on this special Shabbat of Tu B'Shvat, the 15th day of the month of Shvat, which is the celebration of our friends, the trees, our green friends. And also this Shabbat of commemoration of a remarkable, incredible leader in Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. King, and his legacy being lifted up. And the beauty of the Song of the Sea, too, the powerful song of the Israelites as they made their way towards freedom and made it to the other side, and we'll be celebrating that. But for now, just hope that you're in a comfortable place where you're at peace. No fighting on Shabbat. No fighting on Shabbat. No fighting with the present moment. No conflict. No running outside to get more of that magical frosty man stuff that they ate, So our portion tomorrow morning will tell us that at any moment, as the Israelites ate this miraculous food that had rained down from heaven, the Torah says, Al yetzeh ish mimkomo b'yom haShabbat. Don't leave your place. Stay here. So if you're on a screen, that's hard, I know, but stay here with us. We see you, Brother Daniel and Neshama. We see you, Jack David, and beloved Carol and Aunt Joni. We see you. See one another. And, even if people don't know you're looking at them and loving them with your eyes, it's cool, You see Beth Moon, you think, bless her with a Shabbat of peace. See Roberta, bless her with a Shabbat of peace. That's the seed door. Silly. That's a dad joke. Right? Not a dad joke. That's like a dad joke. It's a Jewish dad joke. But see the liturgy on the screen in front of you, the people. And bless them too. Yedid Nefesh, this beloved, beautiful Shalom. Poem. I'm sorry, Shalom Aleichem. Thank you.
Shalom.
Angel, I know. The angels above us, the angels here. You can find it in your Siddur if you're following the Romemu Siddur on page
5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom. Zitchem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi-melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
This past week, Chazan Shechter and I were honored to be a part of the annual conference of renewal rabbis called Ohala.
And cantors.
And cantors, right? Kli Kodesh. And was this beautiful when, or you weren't there for this, but I told you about this, that you're honoring the great Richard Kaplan, one of the great cantors of our generation who passed away this year. And when they were discussing his conception of what prayer is, he said, as leaders, we create a carrier wave and invite you to come swim with us. So we feel you swimming with us already as we enter the power of Shabbat. I invite you to the piyut, this beautiful poem of beloved sacred relationship with the divine on page 7 and 8, Yedid Nefesh.
higher
Karen, Robin, Andrea, Daniel. The words of our ancestors on page 11 and 12 are in the Siddur is about a new song. When the Israelites came out of bondage, bearing with them the years and years of frustration and longing, they naturally broke open. And the song and a new song came out, Az Yashir Moshe. And according to the rabbis, their singing made the whole world sing. Sing a new song for freedom. May they come soon for the whole world. Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash.
Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basra Miyom Miyom, Yeshuato, Zapu Lagoyim, Kevodo, V'chol Ha'amim, Nifleotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, U'lameod, Norav, Hakol Elohim, Kol Elohei Abim Elim, Adonai Shamayim Masah, Hod V'Hadar Lefanav, Hod V'Tiferet B'Mikdasho, Havul Adonai Mishpechot Amim, Havul Adonai Kavod Va'od, Havul Adonai Kivod Shemo, Zeu Mincha,
ובאו לחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני בעד קודש.
חילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, עתיקון תבל בעתימות, ידין עמים ומישרים,
יצמחו השמיים ותגן הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו
כל הצייה לפני אדוני כי
גבעה ישפוט
הארץ
ישפוט תבל בצדק ואת עמים
אמונתו
אין הלילה ימה ימה אין הלילה ימה ימה אין הלילה rise if you're able. Psalm 29. We need some strength, we need some koyach. Release our tangled places, our knots. May that presence that is the strength of resilience and awareness and presence invite us to invite ourselves. Oh, it's all grace, isn't it? To locate those places of weekday striving and soften.
ענה בכוח גדולת שמחה. Tatitsura kabel rina samcha. Ana bekoach gedula simancha. Tatitsura kabel rina samcha. Sagvenu Tarenu Nora. All the strength I have and need, I ask for more so I can breathe. Untie these tangles. For the songs and joy we sing, accept our flaws, accept our dreams. Untie these tangles. Bless us, cleanse us with your grace. These times are hard, these times that face us. Untie these tangles. Receive our prayer, hear our cry. You know our secrets and reasons why. Untie these tangles. Untie these tangles. Untie these tangles. Untie these tangles. Shabbatenu kabel shema. Zakatenu yodea talumoto. Shabbatenu yodea shema. Zakatenu yodea talumoto. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ay, 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 yo.
Into this beautiful space with all of you, wherever you are, circles in the square. Inviting you to close your eyes if they're not already closed, and just for the next 2 minutes, imagine that you know what it feels like when problems have been solved, when there isn't a problem. And as you scan your body with your eyes closed, gently directing your attention and your awareness towards sensation, just aware of what's already there, noticing what you notice. Bring awareness to the back of your shoulders and maybe even the ribs on the back of your body. Sensation anywhere. Inviting in the sense that at this moment, there's nothing to solve in this moment. What might it feel like to rest in the space of Shabbat? The great Vietnamese Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh likened mindfulness to watching a glass of pure apple juice over the course of a few minutes as the sediment of the apple settles. Just sitting, we settle. The mind becomes clear. As we make our way to the words of our ancestors, in this beautiful love poem of the 16th century, written by Shlomo Alkabetz, Lecha Dodi, inviting you to stay open and receptive in a place of Kabbalah, receiving Shabbat, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat kala, penlei Shabbat, lekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat kala, penlei Shabbat, lekabela.
Sing with us. Shida Meri Kevorado Adodi Adodi Kankakla Bene Shabbat Nekabela Nekabela Adodi Kankakla Bene Shabbat Nekabela Come on, everybody, get out of your seats, wherever you are. Oh, you're like a bum, 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 bum. Namila, oh, ay, ay. Oh, Nijama, Nikamila. Lo te moshim, lo tikani. Madish to kakium, matagami yegek. Bag nyakatsuanya. Ami, and in the time, Altila, Ikagana, oh, you're coming in the mass, the camera, Kanoni, hey, you're lying in the mass, the camera, oh, you live, she stopped, Tomo Savage, and I can't go home, like it. Yasin anage elongage kim so satan kala in khatay kadoni kakala Olamila ye kanoni hey ay live ni gamane kamera ay amin usmo ibn moti hey tadonai ta aniti al yagish Ben parti, en smicha, ben agilar. En ben egama, ben kamela, ay kanonik. Omo ben aba, ben kamela. Hay la la la, hay la la la, hay la la la, la 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 la. Hey la la la, hey la la la. Hey la 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 la, yama yama ya, kanoni. Hey, hey, hey. Kamila, kanoni kakala, ayla ayla Shabbat, Kamila, oh, ayla la, yama yama ba, ayla la la la, yama la 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 la, ayla la la la, yama bara, bara la, yama yama ba, lekhandodi kakala, oh, neshama. Kabbalah, please rise if you are able. Bogi Shalom, Ateres Bala, Gam Besimcha, Mitzohala. Am segula boi chalom leShabbat hamalka lechandodi likrat yababai 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 leNeshamah likavla hey ya lechandodi likrat yababai 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 leNeshamah If you're able to remain standing, we invite you to remain standing as we pray for those in our community who are in need of healing. Such a remarkable moment in the Friday night prayer service, as if there's room at this moment for us to receive with our joy those who need to be held in awareness and in consciousness. We bring to mind all of those who are on the Refuah Shlema list on the screen in front of you, and also those who are still, of course, in mourning and in healing from the fires last week in the Bronx. All of those who are suffering from COVID. All the healing and the brokenness, may there be healing. Rachamim alehem lachlimam lerapotam Yishlach lechem meira refuah shlema hashamayim Mitoch shar cholei Yisrael. In all of our prayers, in all of our hopes and yearnings. Shabbos, everybody, get Shabbos. Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbos, everybody. So good to be with all of you in the Zumagog and here as well. We have a couple of announcements to make for you literally, not just announcements to give you, but announcements that are intended to let you know about some things that are, we think, kind of beautiful and uplifting. This, of course, is, I mentioned, the Shabbat of Shirah, Shabbat of singing a song. Tomorrow morning we'll be singing the Song of the Sea, but it also coincides with the Shabbat of Tu B'Shvat, the holiday for the trees. And tomorrow evening Chazan Shechter, together with Rabbi Kolaresis and Rabbi Perlo and a whole host of other people, are going to be honoring Tu B'Shvat with what's known as a Seder. It's a kind of a ritual celebration and meal that will be taking place online, and it, of course, is to honor our incredible Maggid Yitzchak Buxbaum, the great Yitzchak Buxbaum, whose life work was very much centered on lifting up teachings just like these about the trees. Wrote a book called "A Person Is Like a Tree," and we honor his Yortzeit, his 1-year anniversary of his passing, this tomorrow evening as well. The music is made possible through the generous sponsorship of an anonymous donor. We want to thank that anonymous donor and thank them for lifting up the music of Romemu and of our tradition. And Mandala Cafe, thank you so much, Anna. So Mandala Cafe, our wonderful partnership with Daikin Nelson, Sensei Daikin Nelson and his organization, Mandala Cafe, continues this coming Sunday at 2 o'clock. It's made possible this coming week through the generous donation of Joni Miller, or as we like to say, Aunt Joni, who is honoring her miracle baby, her great niece, Vivian. And we're so thankful to you, Joni, and we appreciate it so much. And we just want to let everybody know that, there's nothing more important, I guess, on Martin Luther King weekend than doing acts of kindness and doing acts of chesed in the world. And so come out, feel how good it feels, actually. It's kind of not as altruistic as it might seem. It really is amazing to feed and to help others. It's really some pretty incredible things. So this coming Sunday, we welcome you to join us here at the Romemu Center across the street. We also have a couple of other things to let you know about. The Beit Midrash is continuing. Soul Language Jewish Prayer and its Origins, Tuesday starting January 18th, this coming Tuesday. Also made possible by a generous sponsorship from Doctors Ronnie Scharfman and Joseph Youngerman in memory of Ronnie's brother, Eddie. That'll be coming on your way online this coming Tuesday at 8 p.m. We thank you, Ronnie and Joe. Thank you so much for your generosity. We also have a number of other things that are coming down the pike. The Cinematters is going on. Cinematters New York Social Justice Film Festival is continuing. And online, you can't take it with you. The Legacy of Giving and Reparations, also online as well. Justice in Action, The Future of New York City on January 20th. So these are a number of programs that are happening through the Cinematters. Wonderful. And that's it. Tomorrow morning at 8:45, a special open book. I'll be joining Rabbi Kolaresis. The two of us will be teaching tomorrow morning on the Parsha. That should be hopefully lively and energizing and nourishing as much as we'd like it to be. And then, of course, join us at 10 o'clock for services online only tomorrow. A couple of you might be here for the first time and might be new, so we're going to just be taking a moment here and check the chat. I'm going to check to see what's going on. I'm going to chat the check and see what's going on. Anybody here for the first time, we'd love to welcome you. If you don't feel like chatting, you're kind of feeling shy today, no chat, you can get chat averse, it's like, I don't want to, right? I mean, so you don't have to stand up and put yourself out there, but we welcome you nonetheless. Kind of like, thank you so much. Hillary Stern, we are new and we're so happy to be here. Mark and you, Hillary, great. Where are you guys from? Just everybody, just throw into the chat where you're from if you're new so we know. Oh, I see Anna. Hello, our famous puppeteer. Wow. She's there. Look at that. Wow. Reb Davis from, I'm here. Eileen. Eileen is here. Hi. All right. Eileen, welcome from Denver. And right, Hillary and Mark are from Stores, Connecticut. Welcome. Lots of people are going to welcome you in the chat. There you go. Say hello. Lisa is here for the first time. Some people from Great Barrington. Oh, the chat is moving so quickly. Welcome, Lisa from Riverdale. New from New York City, Rachel, or Rochelle, I should say, probably. It's Rochelle from a few blocks away. Soon, God willing, we'll be together in this space. You'll just be able to walk over. Susan from St. Louis. It's a friend of yours. Okay, wonderful. I was thinking there's some connection. St. Louis. Rabbi Fredman is from St. Louis, and his family's from St. Louis. Okay, welcome, Aunt Joni. Welcome, and everybody. Cool. You could keep throwing into the chat area some folks who are here for the first time. It'd be cool to see you. If we were here together in the space, which we will be, God willing, soon, we'd have people standing up and saying hello. I'm feeling that energy here in the room right now. I don't know if you're feeling it wherever you are, but I'm feeling pretty close to all of you, whether it's because of the Zoom or because I see you with lit candles eating your Shabbat meal, or whether by the blessing of technology here we have this capacity to look right into each other's lives and see what's going on. So welcome. We hope that you all are holding up, as we would say, right? It's like somebody said to me today, "How you doing?" And then we both laughed and we thought, okay, thanks. You know, what are we going to say? It's every week feels, you know, to some extent, I think, like we're making it through, right? We're still, some of us more than others, but this past week was a bit difficult, obviously, for all kinds of reasons, but most intimately because of our brothers and sisters in the Bronx who suffered such a horrible tragedy, and our hearts break with them. And I was going to announce actually the Levaya, the funeral for them, is for those of you who can make it, will be tomorrow on Sunday, I'm pretty sure. I got an email from our Muslim brothers and sisters at the Islamic Cultural Center in the Bronx. They'll be on Sunday at 10 a.m. There'll be a public funeral as well for them as well, for the victims of that fire, and so hearts are broken with them. I'm also feeling the exhaustion that we bring into the week. If you're feeling tired, I feel you. If you're feeling like you've had enough, I feel you. If you're feeling like you've got energy, great. We could all use lifting one another. We were with the cantors and the rabbis of Ohala this past week of the Rabbinic Association of Renewal, and we were talking and learning together about the powerful Hebrew word ma, which means what? Like when Moses is before the sea and he screams out to God, "God, where are you?" God says, "Ma titzak elai." What are you screaming? Or maybe he meant, I know that you're screaming what? You're saying, what is this? How do I hold this? What do I do as I face the impossible? What? And we learned that the word ma has inside of it an unspoken aleph, which is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It's like an A. It's like, it's like a klex, like and the ma, the what opened, and there was a sense of connection, a sense of meaning and purpose, and may we all be blessed with that as we rise together and join one another in this Baruch, the human bond, the human family. We lift each other up. Ma. Baruch. Ay, ay, Yadonai, 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 Yadonai. Ay, 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 ya da na 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 ya da na ya da na et Adonai da 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 Hamevora. Hey, na 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 na. na 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 na. Oh, 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 oh. Ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Ya na na na. Ya na 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 na.
Aviva Yom,
Ad
Umevi
shechi.
Alayla, Ila Ben Yom Velayla, Yatzvat Shemo,
Light becomes night, night becomes day, day becomes night, night becomes day, day becomes night, night becomes day, day becomes night, in the midst of that ma, that what, maybe that little aleph, that aspirant that says ah is also ahava. The nucleus of all ma and matter is avat olam, a love that takes up no space or time, but births it all. The great love, avat olam. Avat olam.
Beit Yisrael,
Israel.
Amcha Avta. Ahavat olam. Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta. We are loved.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך
Love the source of life.
ובכל נפשך
With all that your soul is in.
ובכל
With all of
מאודיך
your energies.
והיו
All of your inclinations.
הדברים ההם
Place these values
אשר אנוכי
on your
מצווך
heart.
היום
לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם.
בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וכשאתם להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ותחתם במזוזות
All of your liminal spaces in your homes and in your public space. Live these values that I teach you today and every day. Be with your children in the way you like to see the world. Teach them these truths. Treat our mother, the earth, like the living being that she is. Never forget that your power to build a world is only matched by your power to destroy it. So be careful, Ishamru. Be careful, Ishamru. Watch yourself as you watch the world. Ishamru lachem, v'nifter levavchem, v'sartem b'avadetem, achim acherim, v'ishtachavita lachem. Be very careful. Watch yourself very carefully. Be aware that you can bring heavenly days right here on earth. Remind you, Yemechem, B'mei V'nechem, Al Adama Shnishba'atum L'Avotechem, Latet Lahem, Kishmei HaShamayim, Al Haaretz, Vayomer Adonai, El Moshe Daber Ben Yisrael, Tzitzit. Change how you see the world. Remind yourselves daily. Tzitzit. Tzitzit. V'lo tatu acharei levavchem. Do not prostitute yourself after your cravings, your wants, your greeds. Certain zonim acharei. למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותיי. Never give up. Love can change it all. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים. להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. 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 Truth is what set you free. Beginning, middle, and end of the story. Tehilot le'el elyon, baruch hu mivorach. The entire book of Genesis is the story of brothers who can't get along. And the story of Exodus is about a brother and a sister. How many of you have big sisters? If you don't have a big sister, I had the blessing in my life. I have two big sisters. And sure, they told stories of what it was like when diapers used to have pins and they had their way with us, my brother and I, with the pins, you know, changing our diapers. But they watched over us. Had it not been for Sister Miriam, whose prophecy was that her younger brother would one day come and save the Jewish people, there'd be no song at the sea. All praise to our sisters who watched over us. We honor her song in his song as we include her name, because it was Moshe Miriam who Bnei Israel sang this song to you. Singing together, Mi Chamocha.
Na
This beautiful man, and his beautiful family, Ine Matovu Manaim, sisters, brothers, and power of redemption that comes through siblings and family, seeing each other, lifting each other, spread over us a container that has enough room for all of your children. Ufras Aleinu. Let's rise if you're able.
Dorotam, Birito, Hola. Baby, you veg b'nei Yisrael, Oti liyola. Ki sheshet yamim, asa Adonai, et hashamayim, v'et haaretz,
Yiskadal Yiskadash Shemei Rabam V'yomad yivrach Yerusem Yom Nechosei V'chayechon v'yomechon V'chayidechon Beit Yisrael V'gala Wizman Kori V'imeru Amen Yesh Mei Rabam Yivrach Le'olam U'limei Almayah Idmar Avishtam Avidvar Vitram Avidnasei Vitadar Vitala Vitalo Shmei de Kutsha Merichu Neila Min Kol Bechasa V'Shirasa Tush Bechasa V'Lechem Asa Damiron Ve'olma En Ledasei Amen. Into the Shabbat of song, some of it familiar, some of it taking you to new places. We invite you to have your moments of silence and reflection with the divine as you understand the divine. You can find the traditional Amidah and the words in your Siddur or your own silence and or words as we honor the sanctity of Shabbat with Amidah.
Is no way to peace, my friend. Peace is the way. No way to peace, my friend. Peace is the way. Is no way to peace, my friend. Peace is the way. With every breath and every step, peace is the way. There is no way to love, my friend. Love is the way. Is no way to love, my friend. Love is the way. Is no way to love, my friend. Love is the way. Every step, every breath. Love is the way. Is no way to freedom. Freedom is the way. Is no way to freedom. Freedom is the way. Is no way to freedom. Freedom is the way. Every breath, every step. Freedom, 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 freedom is the way, 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 is the way.
I was sitting and learning this morning with Rabbi Kolaresis as we prepared for this tomorrow morning's Torah reading. And something stood out for us that I thought I wanted to share with all of you. The Torah tells us that after the splitting of the Red Sea or the Reed Sea, the Israelites had broken out into song, and Miriam, the prophetess, as she is named, begins to dance and to sing, and she brings the women with her to sing. And that moment, of course, is the moment of reintroduction to Miriam. We actually haven't seen her, and we haven't known her name from the beginning of the story of Exodus. And in the beginning of the story of Exodus, we've been introduced to her, but we don't know her name, but she's called the sister of Moses. And her role, of course, is to protect Moses, as I alluded to earlier. Miriam is the one that makes sure that Moses, the baby Moses, becomes who he's meant to become. He makes sure that he's safe. And immediately after we're reintroduced to Miriam and her name given as Miriam, the Torah will tell us that the Israelites will arrive at a place and they'll begin to complain about water. And the Torah tells us, Vayavom Morata, they came to a place called Marata, or Mara. And they couldn't drink waters from Mara because they were marim, they were bitter waters. Alkein kara Shma Mara. And therefore they called Shema, her name, Mara. When I looked at the sentence this morning for the first time in my life, having read this sentence many, many times, immediately what jumped out to me is the weirdness of the phrase, and therefore they called her name Mara. Alkein kara Shma. Shma means her name. When the Torah wants to tell us the name of a place, it will usually preface it by saying, and the name of the place was. But here, the ambiguity of the phrase her name allows one to imagine, who is the one who is bitter? Is it the place or the woman who immediately had begun this paragraph, whose name, Miriam, is the same letters as the word marim, which means bitter? In fact, an early source says that Miriam's name, Miriam, is not from Yam, meaning ocean, but Marim, from Maror, bitter. Miriam had a bitterness, says the Midrash, says the rabbinic folktale. And what could possibly have made Miriam bitter? Oh, we could think of a couple things. It could be that Miriam was bitter because just in a couple of verses before, the Israelites had broken out in song. In fact, she herself had broken out in song, and nobody stopped to say, wow, what a beautiful song, Miriam. How many rabbis, cantors who talked about this, how many people get up and open themselves and expose themselves in the most profound way in terms of self-expression, and it lands into an empty, barren wasteland. Maybe she was bitter because she had no feedback. Or more plausibly, maybe she was bitter because she had just witnessed a remarkable miracle, the kind of miracle that is iconic. I mean, one of the most remarkable miracles of all time. And here the people are already complaining about water. Must imagine her thinking to herself, are you kidding me? We just witnessed the most remarkable miracle having to do with water. And here you are again, complaining bitterly about water. Maybe even more deeply into the character of Miriam, maybe Miriam, whose name had not been known to us for chapter upon chapter upon chapter, maybe she herself had felt the bitterness of having taken her beloved little brother and seeing his greatness and the prophecy that she herself had given her family according to the folktale of our tradition. Miriam's prophet status was inferred upon her because it was conferred upon her because she had prophesied about Moses. She had said, my little brother is going to save the Jewish people. So she took care of Moses, but she was left behind. And while Moses was safely ensconced in the privileged palace of Pharaoh and Pharaoh's family, Miriam was dealing with the real life suffering, the grassroots organizing. Miriam watched the slow and steady incarceration, exacerbation of the prison complex as her people were enslaved and their hope driven out from them. And she herself, more than her safely guarded brother, had absorbed the bitterness of her people, the bitterness of story after story, of home after home, of family after family, of intergenerational trauma. Miriam was on the front lines, and here she is, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, Miriam is free at last, and all the people, and they've been taken out of Egypt, and not so much of Egypt has been taken out of them. And there they are, kvetching about water. You want water? Miriam seems to be saying, man, don't you know that I'm going to be the one that brings you water? I'm going to be the source. The merit of my life will be to bring you vivifying, refreshing waters. But now you're in this blame place. I'll tell you about blame, Miriam wants to say. I'll tell you a thing or two about what it is to be disappointed, to be cynical, to be bitter. I know bitterness, she says, maybe. And then the most remarkable thing in the story in the Torah is that as soon as we're told that there are bitter waters that are impossible to drink, and we imagine maybe it's Miriam, who knows, the Torah tells us that someone cries out to God, and God says, take this eitz, this tree, and throw it into the water, and let the waters become sweet. And Moses throws an eitz, a stick or a tree, into the waters, and the waters become miraculously, medicinally available. He sweetens them. The commentators want to know what exactly are the properties of this supernatural tree. Some say it's not supernatural, it was a natural phenomena. There are trees that can sweeten water and make them drinkable. Some say, no, this is a miraculous thing. You see, God is not like human beings. Human beings, when they want to sweeten something, add a sweetener. God says, I'll take bitter and I'll put it together with bitter in a homeopathic way, and I will bring about sweetness. But maybe on this weekend of celebrating trees, maybe in understanding how bitterness works in our lives and cynicism grows, we might think about this quote from Ruth Wilson, who wrote a book called People and Trees, an Intimate Connection. Unless moved by humans, trees remain rooted in one place throughout their lifetime, preserving their native character. They stand tall, solid, and strong, rooted in the earth. They become an integral part of the place where they live, a contributing member of the biotic family and biotic community. Perhaps there is no better example for us as humans to emulate. Listening to trees, we can learn not only about a particular geographic place, but also about our place in the larger community of life. To a bitter people, God says, give them the lesson of the tree, throw the tree into the waters and let them sweeten. As if to say that God said to Miriam and to all of us, when you see people who have fallen on cynicism and bitterness, have chosen that potion, first understand that they might be completely disconnected from their original place. They feel dislocated. They don't know where they are. They feel as if they've been uprooted. They don't have the ground beneath them that allows them to feel that they have a different choice to make. They've been so uprooted out of their capacity to be solid and stand tall like this tree. Give them the tree celebration, Moses and Miriam. Give them that. Help them learn the lesson that maybe you, Miriam, knew when you chose the path not of bitterness, but the path of song and of dance. When you chose to focus not on the long path it took you to get there, but having arrived there, you could look back and say, it took me a long time, but here I am. And maybe she needed to teach the people after she first empathized with them and said, I get it. Like this tree, you're uprooted, but make a different choice. Maybe like this tree, you feel dislocated, you don't know where you are. Maybe you're bitter because this morning or this afternoon, everybody is pointing a finger at you, or you're pointing a finger at everybody. Maybe this morning you failed again, or maybe this morning or this week or this month, nothing has gone your way, or we can't see our hands in front of our faces. Maybe you woke up and you don't have enough energy. You don't know where to source yourself. You don't know how to root yourself. You don't know where to draw the sap from. Maybe. Empathize and then lift them up. The great Dr. King wrote this about his own life. He wrote, as my sufferings mounted, I soon realized that there were two ways in which I could respond to any situation. Either to react with bitterness, marim, or seek to transform the suffering into a creative force. I, said Dr. King, decided to follow the latter course. He picked up the timbrel, the drum, and he called others to it. He said, I know, like this uprooted tree, the only way to sweeten your bitterness is to remind you that I know that you're uprooted. But let's make another choice. Let's take ourselves to the place of the possible. Tomorrow morning, we hope you'll join us because we'll be exploring these verses more deeply and hearing your Torah on what might have been the possibility of Miriam's bitterness and how it was that she became the remarkable source of water in a thirsty, parched group that yearned for an end to COVID, an end to enmity, an end to injustice, an end to fractiousness, an end to incivility, an end to voter suppression, an end to all of the things that have to come to an end. But we have our eye, right? We have our eye on the journey. We can choose to drink from the sweet waters of goodness and kindness and giving one another the benefit of the doubt. We can make that choice. You can make that choice in your home and in your heart. Instead of pointing a finger at your husband or your wife, I'm just speaking hypothetically, of course. Instead of pointing fingers and coming from places of bitterness that close people down, come from a place of openness and listening and curiosity and creativity. That's what Dr. King inspired. That's what Dr. King's legacy is. The Long March to Freedom requires endurance, and we are still in it, aren't we? But let's lift each other. Let's give each other hope. Let's show up for one another. That's a celebration of the trees that I think all of us long to be a part of. Please rise if you're able.
והשב אותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים.
השב אותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים. אין עוד מלבדו, אין עוד אפס זולתו, אין עוד מלבדו, אין עוד אפס זולתו.
להשב אותה אל לבבך, כי הוויה היא האלוהים.
השב אותה אל לבבך, כי הוויה היא האלוהים. אין עוד מלבדו, אין עוד אפס זולתו, אין עוד מלבדו, אין עוד אפס זולתו. ככתוב בתורתך, הוויה ימלוך לעולם ואין, ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמה into our sacred container, this beautiful community of seekers, all of us carrying one another and being carried by the prayers and melodies and words of our ancestors who are present with us at this moment. We lift up the souls of those who are being remembered this Shabbat. Shabbat is the day, Yom Adin Nishmata, the day of souls. And so we bring all of those souls into our midst, those who are in the chat area, if you'd like to personally put in the names of loved ones you're remembering the Shabbos, and those who are on the screen who are in the first Shiva, the first week of mourning. If we could pull that screen slightly over, it would make it easier to see. Thank you so much. That's wonderful, thank you. Marvin Friedman and Myron Vaught. Hope I pronounced that correctly, I apologize. Alan Miller, Doris Dickinson, Hermina Sholdiema, Rabbi Yehoram Ben Kalman Max, and Ruth Kahn Youngerman. Into the chat also. Solomon Schwartzbard, 4 years ago, Eileen's father, and David's sister, Andrea Henriette Willinger, Andy Gold and Michael Lang, Teresa Jones, Mildred Nizowitz. Forgive me if I mispronounce anything. It's your set of your mother, Rachel Sivia Graf, and Joanne Aronoff, Mark. Shared Joanne Aronoff. And as they continue to come into the chat area, I invite all of our community here to take a look at these names as well as the names that are on the screen. Jenny Martin. We lift up these souls and find the words of our ancestors, the Aramaic prayer of the Kaddish on the screen in front of you. Please rise if it's your custom to stand for the mourners in solidarity. Yiskandal v'yiskanda shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'olma divrachi rusei ve'amlich machusei. Ve'chayechon v'yomechon ve'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'izman kariv yimiru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivorach le'alam le'yomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'elam in kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'oma v'yimiru. Amen. Yehi shlom Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Aseh shalom b'mramav yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshevei tevel. And let us say Amen.
Amen.
Yehi zichram baruch, may their memory be a blessing. May all of these souls be lifted up on this remarkable Shabbat, remembering the life of Dr. King, remembering this liberation song of our ancestors, and lifting up the remarkable soul of Magid Yitzchak Buxbaum, who at this moment, probably years ago, would be dancing circles here in this space, right here, with all of us. Oh, thank you. And so into this cup of blessing, also tomorrow night's Tu B'Shvat Seder and the power of the sap rising. That's what the tradition says, that Tu B'Shvat is a recognition of the beginning of redemption, right? This juxtaposition of arrival, but also its distal cousin, that it's not quite there yet, but we hold ourselves with the awareness of being rooted and also unrooted and dislocated, and we have love and compassion for one another and our fellow humans on this blue globe as we orbit through nothingness. Thank you is in order for those who are on the screen. If you can pull over slightly again. Actually, you don't have to. It's okay. I can just see it here. Thank you. I'm sorry. So a big yesher koach to Elliot, our production team, and Anna behind the scenes with Natalia, Justin Jr., Freddie, and Jeff Kahn, who's here helping out. Yesher koach to you guys. Really, we're trying so much to make this Shabbos experience for all of the daveners and those of you at home as unobtrusive as possible. We hope that you felt the carrier wave. Can you nod? Did you feel us loving you with these musical instruments and these words? We're trying so badly to make it through this distance and connect with you. And I feel I can see you in my heart. And so a big yesher koach to these remarkable people who know how to access and stir the pot of longing that is prayer, right? So our remarkable Rich Stein, part of our family, it's so good to see you, Rich. And to, of course, our regular ensemble, also to Luke Wagadny and Chazan Basi Schechter, and today's very special guest musician who's not really a guest. It's kind of, we don't see you, Zach, but your music is here all the time. Rabbi Zach Fredman, who is just a remarkable musician and rabbi and teacher and human, really. And so we bless you and Zivar and the Kinderlach into this cup of blessing, everybody, for this Shabbos. Lift up wherever you are. Vayer vayevoker yom hashishi vayichulu v'shamayim v'aretz v'chol tzva'am vayichal Elohim yom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbos b'yom hashvi mikom melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim es yom hashvi vaykadesh oso ki vo shavas mikom melachto asher bara Elohim lasos savrei chavedai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher girshanu b'tzosav v'ratzavanu v'shavat kodsho v'yavav ratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishis ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי Kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, im kol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat. So what are we going to say, everybody? We're just going to play more music because that's it. It's about music. It's about Shabbos, right? So Jamie and Bob, let's play some more music. Let's come back to the beginning, maybe, or whatever you have.
Az Yashir Moshe Yisrael, Es Hashir Azazot LaAdonai. Az Yashir Moshe Yisrael, Es Hashir Azazot LaAdonai. Yairai, Naranai, Naranai, Adonai. Hay, hay, hay,
Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom Umevorach Umevorach Shabbat Shalom Umevorach Az Yashir Moshe Yisrael, Et Hashir Hazot LaAdonai. Az Yashir Moshe Yisrael, Et Hashir Hazot LaAdonai.
Beautiful challah dance. Beautiful humans move.
Az Yashir Moshe Yisrael, Et Hashir Hazot LaAdonai. Az Yashir Moshe Yisrael, Et Hashir Hazot LaAdonai. Shira Hadashat Rabbaot Ye'olam. Shira
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Shabbat Shira, this is the Shabbat of song. I love this one from Zach, so beautiful. Yedid Nefesh, beloved of my soul. Sweet friends, we send you a Shabbat angels. You all are swaying like the trees. Ki Adamu Eitz HaSadeh, rooted in infinity, all of you. Blessings for a sweet Shabbat. May you drink from the sweet waters, full of life.